Okay, and I should be live now. Are you on my YouTube? Does it say I'm live on YouTube? Let's go look.
I have post notifications. I was already subscribed. I found your account. So at some other point, I found your account.
Let's see if
Just trying to
I'm
get over 1,000 subs this
live.
year.
Who? Oh yeah, I am.
That's what it
Okay.
says.
Wait, I'm trying to
Ooh,
get over a
glitch.
thousand?
The night glitch.
Okay, so you said Jim Browning.
Jim.
Okay, yeah, I'm on it. Are you on the stream?
I don't see it. I don't see it in a minute.
Bro, I show speeds live right now. Bro, go to my YouTube channel and go, I'm literally live. Bro, what are you doing?
It's your outro.
I don't do outros, dude. I feel like this shit's gonna be cringy if I do an outro.
Wait, you had that on your channel.
Let's just, before we
Tell
react
me
to,
if you like it.
let's just, oh, what the fuck? Let's just, before we get into any, like, reaction of a channel, bro, where's my, dude?
This is 132. You reacting to your own older videos.
Bro, you can't tell me this shit isn't hard, bro.
Maybe in 7th grade.
Bro, yeah, an
Now it's
hour
a
and
little,
an hour and
quality has
54
increased
minutes.
now.
Oh yeah, this was all on my PS4, dude. That's the best part. Like all of this was streamed on my PS4. Like this. This was on. Pretty sure this was on my PS4 as well. These are on my phone. That's just trash.
How
Alright,
did you
so
upload?
this guy,
I'm not looking
what?
at it. I
Bro,
don't see your
hurry
stream.
up.
Your stream's not up. Like it's not like.
What do
Yeah, I
you
don't
mean?
see it. I still don't see it.
Bro, here,
You
I'll
like
send
send
you
me a
the,
link?
yeah, I'll send you the link. Hold on, let me go on my phone so I can send you this, bro. Are you watching it on your phone or are you watching it on,
Oh, I'm trying to. Well,
share,
that's what I was.
Snapchat story, open Snapchat. Alright, I'm sending it to the group chat. There you go. Alright. His name's Jen Browning, and he has his
Yeah.
picture as tech support scams.
Yes.
So do we want to do the most recent one, which was 3 days ago?
No.
3 weeks
It's a
ago?
It's 3-part series. It's like a 3 or 4-part series,
Wait, what?
and it's where he literally hacks into the security cameras of this gaming company.
Wait, what? Oh my god, it's a 4-part series.
It's 4 parts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's spying on the scammers, part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4.
Yeah.
Does he have a playlist for this?
Yeah.
Oh
Pretty
my
sure.
god, he does. Okay, tell me when you're watching my stream. You haven't even opened it yet, bro. Bro, this man
Oh
saved the picture,
yeah.
bro. Is it working now?
Yeah.
You're on it?
Yeah.
So is this right? The spying on scammers?
Yeah. That's the update, but yeah. If it's
What do you mean? What
This
has to update?
or your stream's like delayed, you know.
What do you mean? I don't think I have stream delay on. I don't think I have stream delay on, do I? Output.
The Assassin's Creed Unity.
Bro, are you dissing on me right now?
Assassin's Creed Unity, really?
Are you dissing on me right now? You don't like it?
I have an anime wallpaper, so
Ooh, Ooh. Is this affecting
Always
your
goes hard.
stream?
Nah, it looks pretty smooth.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little delayed, but
Okay. Let's watch
Building
this.
in southwest Delhi holds a dark secret. The building houses Fairmart Travels, an innocent-sounding travel agency, except that it's just a front for a scamming business. And to the rear of the building, in a secret office, there's a room full of scammers.
Dude, this
And
looks like
incredibly,
it's in India.
I've been able to see exactly what they
it is in
do
India.
through their own CCTV.
Why you say that? Because
Is?
he's a tech scammer.
Yes, sir, I can.
He's
Yeah,
not.
I'm
the
still
dude
there.
isn't
Yep.
Indian.
So
He's like he's
you're
British, I
lying
think.
about that? Are you?
But
What's going
yeah,
on
it's in
here?
India. It's in like
going
Pakistani.
on?
Or wait, no.
Hello.
Allow me
no,
1 minute,
Nepal
sir.
or
I'm
something.
just checking that for
Not
you,
Nepal.
okay?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
please stay
someplace
on the
in India.
line.
So hello.
What? What'd you say?
India.
India. Yeah, you can.
This scammer calls himself Mark Robinson, but his real name is Chewin. And yes, I'm watching him live on his
Hello?
own CCTV.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's all this about?
Hi.
Stopped services then when they should be running? I don't get it.
Yeah, sir. Sir, you need to go ahead and get it fixed, and there will be a one-time charge, sir, okay?
So hold on. Why would you charge me when there's nothing wrong? That's quite normal.
No, there are certain technical things that
Tech
has to
scammer
be
looks
fixed.
like you.
Technical things. Go on, try me. I'm quite technical.
I'm sorry, sir, but there will be a charge if you want. We can fix it.
But
Or if you don't want, I can go out of your computer. No problem.
no, I just want to know what's wrong. I mean, you're a technician, so tell me what's wrong.
Sir, well, I'm just a junior level technician. We need to assign the case to the senior level technician.
You're about to see one of the most comprehensive views of the inner workings of one of these scam call centers ever seen on YouTube.
Critical alert from Microsoft.
But let's start at the beginning. How exactly did I find out that Fairmart Travels were behind this pop-up scam? Like most scammers, they buy fake and malicious adverts. These adverts claim that your computer has a virus and it will lock your PC in a way that it almost forces you to ring the number which is shown on screen. And it's not possible just to close this window. On top of this, a very loud warning will play in the background.
Security message. Your computer has been locked up. Your IP address was used without your knowledge or consent to visit websites that contains identity theft virus.
If you've not encountered anything like this before, you can see how it's possible that some people will phone the number in the hope that they can get rid of what looks like a virus. Of course, there's nothing wrong at all. It's all just to encourage the
You would
phone
never
call.
fall for
And if you
one of
watch
these
my
tech
channel-
scams, would you?
Huh?
You would never fall for one of these tech scams, would you?
No. No. I would literally
Have you?
just. No. I would just shut down my PC. Or like my computer or whatever.
What do you mean shut it down? Like close your
Just unplug
fucking,
it.
like,
Just
what do you mean, like, grab
unplug
your
it.
monitor and put it in your keyboard?
No, I just like unplug my PC.
Channel at all, you'll know
You
that I
just unplug it
deliberately
altogether.
phone these numbers. I have my PC set up in a way that if they attempt to scam me, and they usually run a very set script, I will reverse this
Yeah, you got me
connection
there.
and gain access
If someone
to the
does have control of your
scammer's
PC, I mean,
So when
His
they
PC is
did try to
unplugged in.
steal money from
What-
me,
what else could they do?
described their
Exactly.
organisation as high-tech
If there's
securities.
no power, what are
This
they
would
gonna
turn
do?
out to be one of
Just
many
buy a new
aliases
one.
which Fairmont Travels will use. And the method they used to take these payments was through PayPal, something that would allow
you
me
could just
to
unplug
trace
the
the
router.
scam payments right back to the managing
or
director.
Ethernet cable, I
When I
guess.
gained this reverse access, the thing that was immediately apparent was that they had CCTV. This would provide a fascinating insight as to how their operation worked and what the layout of the building was. This would prove very useful for identifying who they were. On the basement floors, there were server rooms, a kitchen, and a canteen. The CCTV
Wait,
around
hold
the
on,
main
hold on. Did you see that?
What? Looking
When
at
he
it.
showed the
identifying
kitchen.
who
When he
they
showed the
were.
kitchen.
On the basement floors,
We'll
there
skip
were
it.
server rooms, a kitchen, and a
This right here. What is this man doing? Do you see it?
Was he urinating?
Bro, what is he doing? He's pouring something out of a pot into a cup. What is this kitchen setup, dude? Like, what is this right here? What is this right here on, like, the little stovetop, bro? What is this? Looks like someone
Made the
jizzed.
boiling milk and putting it in a cup.
The canteen. The CCTV around the main gates of the building showed that there were guards present. This isn't unusual in certain large buildings in Delhi,
Man,
but
for
did
real,
show
hacked into the
exactly what
security
road and
cameras, bro.
surroundings looked
Some
like.
watchdogs.
Dude is legit watching.
Watching people walk around the place, I got a good sense for the layout of the building. This person, for example, is walking around the first floor, and this is to the rear of the premises. But most of the cameras indicated that this was a proper office building. There were lots of people working on desks with computers, and certainly in the main building, on floors 1 to 3, it didn't seem to be that there were any scammers present. These were real workers doing real jobs in probably a real travel agency. But there were another 2 floors
shit,
which were
what the
covered
fuck?
by CCTV, which didn't seem to have anything to do with the main office building. There was one of these floors where I was certain that the scammers were present in
Bro,
one room.
bro, look at this guy in the corner. Dude's just on Google.
So I
chilling.
needed a bit of help. Someone who could photograph the outside of the call centre and try and find out where the second building was. So I called on my friend Carl Rock. Like me, Carl exposes scams in India, and I urge you to check out his channel. In the top right hand corner, you'll see a link to his version of this video. And after Carl shot this footage,
Yeah,
I
all these
noticed there was
cinematic
something that
shots do
appeared
make it
on
look kind of cool though.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at all these homes.
Like, did he like get someone in India to like take these drone shots or something?
Yeah, that's what he just said. He has a guy that like lives in India or something. Here, I'll go back.
me, Carl exposes scams in India, and I urge you to check out his channel. In the top right hand corner, you'll see a link to his version of this video. And after Carl shot this footage, I noticed that there was something that appeared on one of the CCTV cameras. From the CCTV, I could see that there was a roof garden right outside the room that the scammers operated in. And lo and behold, right behind the Fairmart building was another building with a roof garden. Fairmart had only recently installed CCTV, and it was during that installation process that the camera was briefly fixed on that roof garden. Eventually, the camera would be turned round to a static position in front of the offices where the scamming took place. So Carl very kindly took a second lot of drone shots of the building behind Fairmart. This is where their scams operated from. This is one of the cleverest but sneakiest ways of disguising the fact that you're a scamming group. If the police ever did raid the main building, they would only find legitimate computers and legitimate offices. And I could see that it was the alleyway between the 2 buildings that was being used by scammers to move between the legitimate and illegal offices. The people who were employed to run the scams didn't even need to use the front door of the normal office. All very clever. But the CCTV didn't have any audio, but I could see them using remote access software. Here, this scammer is using GoToAssist, and even sometimes the pop-up which would appear on their victims' PCs. But although their CCTV didn't record any audio, they happened to record audio on a different system called Ringba. This is their VoIP provider, which allowed them to use UK and US phone numbers, but it had the advantage where every phone call they received was recorded. You would have good reason to wonder why a travel company would run a campaign called USA Blue Screen of Death or UK Adult.
$10.
And because they recorded all of their calls, I could listen in on some of them.
For calling support, my name is Alwyn. How can I help you today?
I just got an important security message. It says my computer's being shut down.
What were you doing on the computer when you got this message? Can you lower down the volume of your computer?
So since I had all of their audio files, all I needed to do was take the timestamps of the audio and match them to the timestamps of video. This would allow me to see other people being scammed.
Oh,
Thanks for your call. You're speaking with Luke. Can I help you?
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Do you see this guy's background right here?
Hold on.
Look at this guy's. Oh my God! What are you doing? Look at this guy's background on the monitor in like the very left corner.
What the? Yeah, but that's me.
Thanks for your call. You're speaking with Luke. Can we help you?
Hi. I was just trying to watch movies on my computer and it's telling me it's locked and I have to call security.
Okay, and what were you trying to do on this computer?
I'm watching movies.
Is this your personal computer or it's a family computer?
It's a work computer.
It's work computer, okay. So do you have any IT guy?
Sorry?
Do you have any IT guy in your work, in your office?
No, I'm at home now. I brought my
Okay.
work laptop home.
Okay, because there will be a one-time charge if we fix something online today for you. If there's any software issues, there will be a one-time charge. So will that fine for you? Are you the authorized for that?
Why would my computer be locked in the first place? I was just watching movies.
There would be some viruses which download from that online movies website.
Oh.
Yes. So I have to
So
check
what
the
do I do
computer
now?
I have to check the computer, and according to that there would be a one-time charge that would be the diagnosed charge, and if there is any other issues they will be charged according to that.
And how much is this charge?
The minimum which is diagnosed charge which will cost you around £50.
And if I don't have £50 to pay?
Then you can take this computer to local store or a local technician.
No. Alright, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
And because I could see what the supervisor was monitoring, I could also see the scammers' names. The green colour meant that someone was engaged in a call with a victim, and the orange colour indicated that a person was waiting on a call. And depending on the day and the time, there could be anything from just 2 agents to 22 on the floor. And when they answer their phone, they would of course never give their real name. They would always give a fake English sounding one. So I thought I would phone them up and try and work out which name they would use and see the faces on the CCTV.
But I'm hoping I can reach that guy, whatever his name is.
For calling support, this is Jerry. How may I help you?
So this guy called himself Jerry. But of course, when the office was busier, it was much harder to work out who I was speaking to, so I needed another tactic. I would deliberately change
Why did I make this? This horrible hot.
Bro, I need to get
change my
YouTube Premium.
desktop background to something really obvious.
Now type help me all in one word.
Help me.
And then allow one of their scammers to connect to
You
my
don't have YouTube
PC.
Premium.
And once the scammer had remote access to my computer, I'd simply use their CCTV to see who was looking at the monitor with the purple screen.
You need to leave the control of your mouse, sir. I'm successfully connected with you. You can see my cursor moving on the computer screen.
Oh, yeah. I see that. Right, okay.
Right, so you
So-
do not have to worry about anything, sir. You're talking to Windows certified technician. So I'm just gonna find out first of all if anything's wrong on the computer system. So how long have you had this computer, sir? Like how old is this computer?
I think it's only a year old or something.
Okay, just
Sorry,
a year old,
sorry,
right?
just who
So
am
let me
I
just
who am I
check.
talking to here?
This is Chris Young, sir. I'm a Windows certified technician.
And so now I knew what the person who called themselves Chris Young looked like.
You might be using. I'm sorry.
Is this Microsoft
No, sir.
or who
I'm.
am
It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the Microsoft. It's a Windows support. I believe you are using a Windows computer.
Unfortunately, some of the CCTV cameras were set up worse than others, and when I switched to the like of camera 5, it gave a bit of a distorted and black and white view, but it was still enough to see who I was speaking to.
The exact problem going on the computer system, right?
Yeah.
So why you got the number on the computer screen is, sir, because when you first bought the computer, the securities of this computer was registered.
But the camera was more than good enough to watch the scammers squirm whenever they were challenged.
I hope you're not breaching Microsoft's copyright here. Because if you put a window up saying Microsoft at the top, and you're not
Okay. You're
Microsoft.
thinking that way, what you can do, sir? What you can do? What
Well,
do you want to do? What do you
well, I
want to
don't
do
know.
about
I think
that?
I should
If
be
you
going
think
to.
I'm breaching your security system.
No, I think you're impersonating Microsoft, and I think you're
What do you want to do?
trying to scam people. That's what I think is going on here.
Okay, so now you're in that part right now, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've lied to me about what NatStat's showing.
I'm gonna show you all the services, sir.
So the services should be stopped,
I'm
as you
gonna
well
show you all
know.
the services, everything.
Yeah, some of them should be started,
I'm
and
sorry?
some of them should be running, and some of them should be stopped because they should be started manually. So what are you going to show me here?
I'm not gonna show you anything, sir. This is your computer. You can do whatever you want. Is there anything else you want to ask? Anything else you have any doubts?
Yeah, I want to know why you scam people. Well, why is it?
But there are hundreds of victims of this crime, and I want to do something about it. So for the first time ever, I've shared this footage with a UK documentary team called Panorama. That team were able to travel to India to confront the owner of this call centre, and I've left a link to their video in the description below. By sharing the footage, I'm hoping that more people can be made aware of these scams, and hopefully some will be prevented. If you're a patron of mine, you can already see the first 3 parts of this video unblurred, but for the public YouTube videos, I have to blur some of the details to meet.
Emmanuel, you know who we should watch?
What's up?
We should watch Electric Boom.
What's that?
You'll see. He's so funny, dude.
Like who next?
Huh?
Like who next from the year 2000?
Funnier.
Hi. Sometimes you just want to sit down, do your job, try to make a good video, have a nice sponsor, and make some nice juicy internet money. But no, your house has to break down. What's the problem, you ask? Well, some areas at home are cold because our heat...
What? What'd you say, Emmanuel?
Wait, I've seen this guy before.
Dude, he's so funny, bro.
doesn't heat them anymore. I guess we fixed that now. Well, I don't think this thing is broken. Well, they call it a combi heater, a combinational heater that heats water for showers and such, and also separately heats water for baseboard heaters. And our baseboard heaters are like these type of radiators that hot water runs through them to create the heat. It is a tankless device. It takes a small footprint to do all that work. And I think it's working because it's creating hot water and some areas of the house are getting warm. Now you might say, maybe you're an electrical engineer, not a plumber. Really? Did you say that? For your information, the hierarchy is like this. Electrical engineers, astrophysicists and rocket scientists, electrical technicians, then plumbers, and doctors too, because they basically do plumbing work, other labor, and yeah, mechanical engineers. Got 'em! Anyway, the hot water comes out of this pipe and goes to this magic device, I don't know what it is, and then splits into 5 zones in the house and returns from that pipe to the other side of the heater. So basically we have a closed loop the hot water runs through, except if you look here, for some reason the hot water that comes out is short-circuited here that returns right back to the heater. Is that the right way to do it? So it seems with this short circuit here, before the hot water gets to go out, it just returns straight back to the heater.
I'm getting sleepy.
It is the right way to do it.
For Xander.
Maybe I promote plumbing to rocket science. Anyway, the 5 zones in my house are controlled by these electric valves that are controlled by the signals coming from the thermostats. My thermostats are these Nest smart thingies that I can also control with an app. Okay, let's think. You know, those thermostats might be doing something trying to be smart. You know, they sense when I'm away and shut down all the zones to save power. Maybe they are in some power saving mode. I guess I can force it on. Now I'll wait for a few minutes and look at it again with my thermal camera. And nothing, eh? Let me turn on another thermostat. Ooh, this guy is getting warm. I guess we can check and see if the thermostats actually send signal to the valves. I just don't know what is what here. So I figured these 2 bottom valves don't open. I should be able to open them somehow. There's a screw on the side of it and I have this sideways screwdriver. Should be able to open it up. There we go. So it seems I can see 2 components in here. This seems to be the motor that turns the valve, and there is, if you can see back there, a switch that probably senses something. These lines go to the motor thingy. I want to see if they get any signal from the thermostat. Just turn the temperature high and measure the voltage. And what do you know? There's nothing. Is this one the same? Let's check a good valve to see what to expect. Just turn them all high. I hear something's happening. Ooh, something switched. And the heater is on. So this guy's running. Let's check the voltages. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing? The hell? Oh, are they AC voltages? Oh, look, 29 volts almost. 29 volts AC and almost 29 volts. Damn, so they all have signals. What is that noise this is making? Let's try and pull these caps off. Seems like an AC motor that doesn't really want to turn. How about this one? Now that you're at it, that one. Let's turn the bottom one off. Hey, it's turning. Middle one. No motion there.
What?
Seems like a free spirit.
So
And
much
the
in the
top
thing.
healthy one. Oh, there you go. Turned off. Let's turn the healthy one back on, see what's supposed to happen. When I turn it on, it starts rotating like that for 10 seconds. At some point, a lever will push against the switch. The switch signals to the heater that the valve is open. It starts heating up the water and turns this thing on, whatever it is, and the hot water starts flowing. And when I turn it off, a spring pulls the motor back, releases the switch that signals to the heater that the valve is closed and everything turns off. Now with that bottom motor, see, there is some friction. It doesn't want to turn properly. And the other motor seems to have a disconnected wire and doesn't get any power. Bye-bye, motors. These simpletons worked for less than 2 years and failed. What a disappointment. Okay, let's test these motors, which seem to have been running on 30 volt, 60 hertz AC, I assume. So I have to step down the AC line to what these require. These motors are typically very low current, low power motors that using gears are...
see
You
it?
can still cut it open.
I'll see it in a second.
One must first lower the supply voltage to the required value before connecting the load. And of course, 30 volts is safe to touch. Yeah, jeez. And of course, 30 volt would be safe if you didn't have any cuts and bruises on
Looks
your
like a tech
skin.
support scammer.
Because it's your dead skin cells that have high resistance blocking the current from going through your body. But if you have any cuts exposing low resistance body tissues, the current will be much higher and will hurt. And I guess if your skin is wet and you push against it, yes, I feel it. So we should say low voltage is safer than high voltage, and depending on your skin condition, you could still get shocked and die. Let's focus on the motor. I think I killed this one. Smells burned. Oh hey, it still turns, and it turns much more smoothly too, although I can feel some vibration in there. These motors are very low speed, low torque motors you can easily stop, that using the gearbox underneath them, they increase the torque. Seems like burning this motor fixed it. I don't know if I can trust it enough to put it back, but I'll keep it just in case. And I think this motor was the one that seemed to have a disconnect inside that didn't turn at all. This is the motor that had the friction but was turned. This is the one that had the disconnect, and high voltage burned and fixed it somehow. And they say high voltage is bad. So yeah, this one seems like there is some misalignment or something. Maybe if I push and pull on it. Nope. So I guess we can do a surgery on this one and see what's inside. Let's pry it open. Oh! There we go. That's just the gearbox. Maybe you can just cut it. There we go. Here's what it looks beyond the covers. There's all the windings. I'm still not reaching any windings. These are all just magic of phase shift and such to make the motor turn with a single phase. And it is an induction motor. This is the rotor that is not magnetic, but the changing magnetic fields create currents in the rotor that forces it to turn. Well, let's at least measure the resistance and inductance of the coil to get a... What are you burning? So the coil resistance is around 22 ohms and its inductance is almost 80 millihenry at 100 hertz. This means the coil at 60 hertz has around 30 ohms of inductive impedance, and plus the 22 ohm resistance, we get around 37 ohm total impedance. They are rated for 24 volts, which means there will be 650 milliamp continuously running through them. So there will be 15.5 watts of apparent power running through these motors. In our area, we are not charged for reactive power, but the current is there and wastes energy through the resistance of the transmission lines. Well, on 120 volts, it is more like 150 milliamps. But imagine if all 5 zones are on at the same time, then the current goes up to 0.75 amps. Now you might tell me, Mehdi, you are calculating the current for a motor with no rotor. When the motor turns, the current drops. Well, that would be true for high torque motors. For these ones, first of all, they are so weak and low torque that even at no load, the current is not much different. And also, we saw how they work. It turns a few times until the lever turns and opens the valve and pushes against the switch, at which point it stalls, staying on for the rest of the operation as long as the heater is on. It has to stay on to push against the switch and fight against the spring that is trying to pull it back. When the heater is off, it is de-energized and the spring can pull it back. This is a stupid design if you ask me, wasting a bunch of power on windings and the lines. The motor doesn't need to stay on when it is stuck in a certain position. I'm guessing they did it because they wanted to stay backwards compatible with old inefficient systems. All you need is a DC motor and no springs. Just turn it on until it pushes a switch and then turn off. then turn it in reverse until it pushes another switch and turn off. Save a ton of power. But I guess I'm stuck with this for now. Let's see if I can buy some replacement motors. This is the original Honeywell motor for $59, 24 volt DC, 60 hertz. Okay, here's a knockoff version for $37. Let's buy this one. There we go. My two new motors are in and they seem to be perfect replicas. Actually, let's pop a cap and see how perfect is perfect. They are very much the same. Now we just pop the new motors in and hope for the best. They are fitting just fine. It's AC, there is no polarization. Pop and pop. Strip, strip, twist. And use one of these wire nut thingies, whatever it's called. Then turn and done. Now let's pop the caps and see them in action. Okay, let's turn them on. The first one is on. The second one is on. And the third one, just for reference, is on too. There we have it. Now we just put all the covers back on. Wait, I have to put the caps back on first. All these motors are rated for 24 volt AC, but I measured 29, 30 volts across them. Maybe that's why they're dying. I bet the transformer is in the controls here somewhere. Do you want to know how my plumbers do electrical work? Here, this is the power line. First you cut it in half, then you connect it back together before feeding it to the device. Also, you connect the white wire to the black wire and the black wire to the white wire before connecting it to the terminal. And why these two lines didn't go straight to the terminal? No one knows. Anyway, this transformer is the one that converts 120 volts to 24 volts AC that goes out to the rest of the circuit through the white and black lines. Measuring its voltage, I am almost getting 31 volts AC. Let me turn on all the heaters and see how much the voltage drops under maximum load. And with all the valves on and motors running, I have 26 volts. That's what you get with an unregulated power supply. You have to pick its voltage higher than normal so that when all the loads are connected and its voltage drops, the loads can still run properly. But then you risk damaging your motors because you're typically running them at a voltage higher than the rated voltage. Done! And now we hope that these new motors will last much longer than the old ones. It's interesting how this plumbing problem turned out to be electrical. And now we'll go on to make, I guess, similar videos. See ya!
So, Emmanuel, what do you think about that?
Informative.
What else is there to react to?
I don't know. The news. Xander getting online. That's pretty reactable.
Wait, Xander got online? Hello?
Yes.
The boy online?
Do you want to play with Knickers?
Bro, I'm streaming Xander, bro.
Well, it's not like they can hear. Oh, maybe they can't hear me.
They can hear every word you say.
Oh, How are you guys going, my fellow Homo sapiens? Unless you don't go by Homo sapien.
Why the
Maybe you're a cow. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just like, me and Emmanuel, I'm like streaming and just reacting to stuff.
So you're one of those streamers.
I
I'm
mean,
on
we're
the
literally just watching like dumb shit.
You're one of those streamers. Dungeons and Dragons?
What?
No, it's not Dungeons. It's not Dungeons and Dragons. It's titty. I mean, what? Bro, the Ancient Gods Part 2 is only $10. It's normally 10. It's normally 20, bro. It's a steal. My throat hurts. Oh, that's a steal, my dude.
I want a new Xbox.
No, you don't. You don't need one, Emmanuel.
I do need one.
Yeah, what he said.
What?
I'm thirsty. I'm gonna drink my sweet tea.
I've gotten to a certain skill level where the only limitation is my Xbox. And how much it sucks.
There's a Hot Wheels game.
These double unskippable ads, bro.
Bro, fuck those double unskippable shitty ads. I'll fucking kiss them.
Hi, you might
Tired.
be
I wanna
thinking
go to
that
sleep.
electric
Why not
heaters
just-
dry
Me
the air more
Shut
than
up,
other
Emmanuel, you're
types
not
of
tired.
heaters. And you
You're
would
just
be wrong.
you're not
How did
disappointed.
that
You're
mindset
just
even come to
disappointed.
be? Who started this
Anyway,
nonsense?
you're not tired,
Because it
you're
is
just disappointed.
nonsense. Unless it is not for a
Yeah.
good reason that I couldn't comprehend. Just to be clear, an electric heater is just a resistive piece of wire that heats up when electricity passes through. You can help me comprehend in the comments if you think I'm wrong and you're not afraid of me making a video ridiculing your wrong reasons.
If you
Go
give me
ahead,
a
leave a comment.
$500, no, if you give me a
Joking.
$700, I'll give you mine.
Of course, I don't really think there's a
No.
good reason, but who knows? I may
It's
learn
$500
something.
for
So
my
let me know.
Xbox.
And we can all learn a ton of math, science, and computing
But
from my
you can give me
sponsor Brilliance
500.
through their highly
I mean, but you can
interactive
give me
courses.
700
Yeah, I can
Follow my link
and get one
brilliant.org/electroboom and start learning.
I
Now
can go
back to
and drive
electric
and
heaters
get one
removing
immediately.
humidity. Some of you may
They're not in
say
the stores,
we
they're
didn't
online.
think like
Trust
that
me.
to start with. Well, I have seen at least 4 people telling me that. 2 contractors told me that I'm better off not having electric baseboard heaters because they dry air more. And then 2 random
Hero
friends.
game.
First time I heard it, I was like,
Hey,
hit by new information.
That's
Right
gay.
away, I asked myself, but where would the humidity go? After
wait,
which,
am I
I
allowed to say
confronted
that?
the person
Am I
who
allowed to say that
provided
word?
the information. Anyway, if you think an electric heater dries air more, then ask yourselves, where would the air moisture content go? Does electricity make it disappear? No! Would it somehow suck the moisture out of the air? How? You might say, well, maybe water vapor condenses more on an electric heater
How's
compared to
your
other
day
heaters, and that's
gone?
how more moisture is removed from the air. In which universe water vapor condenses on a hot surface? Huh? I don't always get angry. Oh no, wait, I do.
Is that
I
clear?
have
Tell them
also
to
heard
write
this
here.
argument that maybe electrolysis breaks the water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. Really?
Oh,
if you
that's what I'm
recall,
saying.
for
Oh,
electrolysis,
that's
we need a
a
continuous
collaboration
body of
pack.
water and 2 electrodes with high
I
enough
think it at least
voltage
made him
difference
look like
to
Kirito.
break
It's legit
the
just
water
like
molecule.
Kirito, but with white hair and a shittier cape.
Well, maybe not a voltage that high. Not
I
a
think that
continuous
would be better.
heater wire with a molecule or drop of water on it. Wow! Even if that was true, wouldn't that fill your room with explosive H2 and O2 gases?
Yes, I
You
can't
would
tell
turn
if you,
on your
think,
light
if you
and
think what I'm saying is really funny or
dang
you're
it!
watching a really
I knew
funny
I
video.
shouldn't have used an electric heater.
He
Wow, you trying
heated
to say
up.
I'm not funny?
No, he heated up wire, and he said, and if you put a touch of water on it, and he touched it and burned his hand.
No, none of these happened.
That guy's
So it's just a
retarded.
false misconception created by
I'm
the
allowed to say
Big
that.
Mama Corporation.
I don't know if I'm
Yes,
allowed
I
not
bet it's
to
one of
say,
those
not to say.
lies parents
Teach
tell
me
their
the way.
kids to stop them from doing
Nothing
something.
racial or
Like maybe
political, I'll get
electricity was
banned.
expensive and they preferred burning
Fuck
wood.
Joe
I remember
Biden.
when I was a kid, I would remove crust of breads, and someone told me if I
Let's go,
wasted them,
Brandon,
they would
let's go.
turn into
Whoa,
snakes
hey,
and
who
hunt
wants
me in
up?
my
Who
dreams.
wants up?
So I kept eating the
Who wants
crust.
Borderlands 3?
But Those snakes never
Never
stop
finished
hunting
it.
my dreams.
It's
Let me know in the
$15.
comments what
One-
lies
that's
you
you already
were
have it.
told as
Ma-
kids to make you
Jesse, do you want
change your
Borderlands 3?
behavior. I
I don't
have a
have
list of my
Borderlands
own.
3.
Shut up,
I don't know why some
Yeah, you
people
do.
assume kids
No, I
can't
don't.
handle
What's
the
Borderlands
truth,
say?
and
What's
lying
Borderlands
to
say?
them
Tell
is
me,
the
tell me,
best
tell
way
me,
to
tell me,
go.
tell me, tell me.
Okay, now that we established the
Super
fact that
deluxe
electric
pack.
heaters don't
Oh, hey, wait,
directly
what?
make
Wait a
the
minute,
air
wait a minute,
moisture
what's it
disappear,
all in the
let me
super
tell you
deluxe
why
pack?
a warmer, closed
Level
space
edition.
is drier. In a closed room with a certain air moisture content, if you warm up the air, the moisture content doesn't change, but the air's capacity to hold moisture increases because it's warmer. So it tries harder to vaporize any humidity it can find. So with the same moisture content, a warmer air will suck the moisture out of your skin and you will feel drier. That's why there's something called relative humidity that depends on the air pressure and temperature
Where's
and
my heart
moisture
that
content
Borderlands
and
3 only has
stuff. 100%
Borderlands 3
relative
only has 3
humidity
stars?
doesn't mean that you
I
are
really like
swimming
this
in
game.
water. It means that
Wasn't
the
the
air
best,
is
but I
holding the
really
maximum
liked it.
amount of moisture it can at a
Seems holding
given
its back.
temperature and pressure and such. Any moisture above that just condenses. It is related to temperature, so air at 10%, 50% or 100% relative humidity holds less amount of moisture
all
measured
in the
at
season
grams per
patch.
cubic meters than the same levels of humidity at a higher temperature. But the fun part is, say 50% relative humidity feels the same on human skin at any temperature. Well, the temperature feels different, but 40 to 60% relative humidity is always the more comfortable zone no matter the temperature. Sounds confusing, but that's not all. The airflow helps remove more moisture from your skin, and that makes you feel like the air is drier. And none of those has anything to do with the type of the heater. So you're sitting in a closed room with a fixed moisture content. You warm up the air with whatever heater. With the same moisture content, the relative humidity drops and so the air feels drier. If you use wood fireplace, the room air is forced out of the chimney and fresh air replaces it. And depending on the moisture content of the fresh air, the room can feel drier or more humid. When you have a type of fireplace where it sucks the room's oxygen.
Okay, who's playing videos?
Did you
There's
get
lettering
it?
like that.
You must have a vent to let the fresh air in. That's why old wood fireplaces are a bunch of inefficient, air polluting, oxygen depriving, fire hazard garbages that people mostly use because they provide a cozy ambience. So, a water heater radiator or an electric heater in a closed room won't make a difference. But if you have one of those heaters that blows air on you, it will make you significantly drier because of the flowing air, not because the heater is electric. That might be why some people think electric heaters dry you more, because they can be of the portable type that you can put close to yourself and get locally much warmer. And they can blow air, both contributing to a much drier bubble around you. But you would achieve the same results if you could use a warm water heater the same way. Electricity has nothing extra to do with the moisture removal. You get it? Stop dragging electricity's name through the mud. It's okay, darling. They apologize. Why is this still plugged in? Well, I hope you learned something today. That at my sponsor Brilliant, you can learn a ton of knowledge from...
It's funny. Hello?
Yeah.
Everyone just gets so quiet.
I'm looking at Borderlands 3 stuff. I actually, for some reason, I want to get back to playing Borderlands 3 for some weird reason.
The third Hokage is a terrible person.
We already know this.
We've already known that.
Pretty sure he's also a racist.
But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm
Who's the
saying
third
is,
Hokage
trash
again?
is just...
Hi, in my previous video about getting electrocuted in a bathtub, I briefly mentioned suicide showers, which is what people call them because you have to bring live wires with you in the bathroom to heat the water. But then there were tons of comments, mostly from my beloved Brazilian viewers, that were shocked by my comments.
Not actually racist,
saying that millions of people there use this shower head with no problems. There was this outpour of people in the streets demanding my exile. Just kidding, but seriously, it seems like a majority of people there, as well as some other countries like Mexico, use these shower heads, and people seem to be okay. I didn't want to make this video because Big Clive and Diodes Gone Wild have already made good videos on the topic.
Did you ever look in Damien's room or Damien's car to see if my controller was in there?
Yes.
No luck.
You want me to go look?
Whatever.
And me being a bigger channel, my video would probably pop first, pushing their videos down, getting more views. Okay, let's do it. But I'll pick a different title so that our videos won't show in the same search. So I bought one of these from Amazon to try and see if I survive. Since you can buy these in Canada, you would assume that it's tested and safe. I'm starting to doubt our system. Let's see what's inside the suicide shower and if it is truly suicidal. Okay, so here we have two bare heating elements for two heat settings that are completely exposed to the running water without isolation. There is a diaphragm back here that when there is pressure from running water, it switches the contacts on to make sure the elements are only powered when there is running water. Otherwise, the whole thing would melt and burn in fire. The damn thing draws 50 amps max. The ground wire goes in the middle of the diaphragm to ground the water at the output, and also goes straight into the input water to ground the input as well. Now the question is, would this be enough to ensure the water pouring on your head is not equivalent to live wire and electrocute your brain cells? The structure of this shower is kind of smart. I don't know if it's the same case for all of them, but the entire water passing over the live wires must go through this hole first before getting out, where the ground wire is sitting at the middle. So it might be possible for the ground wire to remove all the charges from the water before getting out. Now I'm not saying it's impossible to have a safe water heater with you in the shower. It's actually pretty simple to make. See if the heating element is isolated from live wires like these oven elements, then there is no problem. If I turn it on and touch the element, there is no electricity on the surface, just heat. These run on 240 volt AC and are safe to touch. Let me remove it. Now if I turn it on, I read 204 volts. Alright, because at my home the voltage is made from the difference between 220 volt AC phases 120 degrees apart. Now if I change the volume, the voltage should change. It's not changing. Oh, maybe it's doing some special waveform modulation like PWM or a light dimmer, and my meter is not detecting it well. So I brought my scope here to check the actual waveform using my differential probe, because I don't want to accidentally short the probe ground to 200 volt AC. Oh wait, just remembered something. Circuit specialist sent me a new tool that could be pretty helpful here. There, they sent me a handheld oscilloscope. This is a 70 MHz 2-channel oscilloscope with its own 25 MHz function generator and a complete digital multimeter. I mean, if it works well, it will make life much easier for some measurements. It runs on battery or isolated USB power, so it would be completely isolated from live wires. And it's much more portable. I'll continue using it throughout the video to check its performance. I mean, for around 200 volt AC, $200, it's pretty affordable. And I'll give away 10 of them at the end of the video. Checking the voltage first. Yep. The screen is pretty adequate for a multimeter, but the voltage still doesn't change by the volume. It comes with one probe, but fortunately I have more. Okay, let's check the voltage. There you go. Well, the display is a bit small for a scope, but I mean it's a handheld scope and it is still pretty clear. But the voltage still doesn't change by the volume. Or maybe I have to load it with the element so the proper waveform shows up. I tied some wires to the element terminal so I can probe them. Now if I turn on the voltage... Let me use some electric tape. Damn it! Now the oven doesn't turn off. Have to figure out what's going on. Maybe it's a stuck relay. There is not much going on here. Maybe this switch is stuck or something. Okay, so this contact was welded to the one below, but they are disconnected now. You know, probing stuff, you have to be more careful. Well, I did find some leads and garbage thrown back here. Okay, back in business. Hopefully nothing gets shorted again. Just note that there is no ground between these two wires. Each one is one phase, both dangerous. There we go. The hell? The voltage still doesn't change. How does it adjust the temperature? Ooh, turned off. Oh, such an idiot. Yep, I'm an idiot. You work with fancy PWM control systems to drive loads and motors so much you forget stupid stuff like this oven work in simple ways. This thing is just 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and the on-off duration is controlled by this knob. Was he calling it a volume all this time? I'm not recording all of that shit again. The point is, this shower head could also be made of such an isolated heating element with proper electronics to more precisely control the heat. Let's go install it. I don't have a power outlet right here, unlike what it shows in the installation sheet, which is good. I mean, you don't want live wire with you in the bathtub, but I guess it's okay in some countries.
It looks as though you've been kerfuffled.
But this length of wire is not enough anyway. Okay, so I wired everything up and plugged in my power into the GFCI outlet to prevent me from death. Let's turn it on. Well, I was expecting the GFCI to pop. So I connected my amp meter in series with the ground wire to see how much current is going through the ground, and it's a little bit less than 0.8 milliamps, which is not a lot. It is still good enough to give you a little bit of shock, but it's much less than the 5 milliamp limit that the GFCI trips at. This amount of current depends on the quality of water and the voltage. So if you're in a country with 240 volt AC and more impure water, this current might be too much that will trip GFCI. For example, the tap hot water is more conductive, and if I make it more...
I also bought it for no reason, because I'm not gonna play it.
You see that the ground wire current is rising. I've heard in some countries they disconnect the ground wire to make this work, and that makes this much more dangerous. The room breaker popped. How much current is it drawing? I set it to minimal and the breaker still popped. Let's measure the current. Another tool from Circuit Specialists.
It's like all the
19 amps. So if you want to fully use this, not only you have to make sure you have at least a 50 amp breaker, you have to make sure the house wiring is rated for 50 amps. Otherwise, you'll set the whole thing on fire. Now I'm going to measure the AC voltage between the water, which I'll probe with a spoon, to the faucet, which is my ground. And if I probe from far, you see that there is no AC voltage because the water droplets are disconnected. But if I get close,
I spent a lot of stuff on the
read
vending machine.
as high as 7 volt AC. I can smell wires.
Did you know that there is an easy way to stop ads from appearing before every video?
1.65 plus 1.50 plus 1.50 plus 1.50
So the
plus
voltage is not high enough to give you a shock over your skin, but if it goes into your eyes or mouth, it could really hurt. Okay, let's try it. I put one foot on the drain as ground and bring my tongue as close as possible.
-6.49 plus 6.94.
Yeah, I feel nothing. Okay, so although there is voltage, there might be a very high resistance
spent
series with it, so that
$13
when you get in the way,
on
that
just a
voltage
vending
drops
machine
to
today.
0. Okay, let's measure the AC voltage again, but this time I'll put my body parallel to it to see what happens to the voltage. See, from around 5 volts, when I touch it, it drops to like 0.7 volts. So this confirms that in my setup, this water cannot supply high voltage or current to shock you. So I hate to say it, but besides these loose wires and the fact that it may set your house on fire,
I spent $8.44
but I mean, this is
on
left to people to install.
machine.
And you know,
Dude,
people,
shit,
they may
Jose
not
spent,
connect the ground
at least
properly.
$30
Let's see what happens in that case.
I convinced him
Now I
to spend
disconnected
like
the ground
30 bucks
wire,
on
and if I probe the water,
Jesus.
I get close to 45 volts. Now if I touch the spoon, the voltage drops to around 2 volts. It could still hurt
It's on
if it
sale.
gets into your
Only
mouth.
$70. This is such a steal.
Nope. Well, still nothing, which is good, I guess. So if this is installed absolutely correctly by a professional and it never fails, considering its questionable quality, then you might be safe, knowing that there is a little bit of current constantly running through you when you are taking a shower. That tiny current draw would be double or more in countries with 240 volt AC, which might still be safe. On the other hand, the current draw from the power lines would be half, so it's safer that way. Maybe it won't give you a shock, maybe you won't accidentally touch the hanging loose wires or set your home on fire or get cancer over time. All I know is that this thing actually proved itself to be quite useful, and I'll give away 10 of these. Giveaway time! Well, I already said it. Thanks to Circuit Specialists, I'll give away 5 of these to my patrons at patreon.com who are always in the draw, and 5 more.